guys, how you doing? I hope everyone's well and healthy. My name's Ali. Welcome to Art of Man's Life. So I've finished the organic cafe. This is part 3. So I thought let's go through what I managed to do to fix and finalize this little corner build MOC inspired by the Lego Friends organic cafe. In the last video, a couple of videos, I went through that, the kind of the concept and the ground floor and what I did around here. And now I finished up the top of it and kind of got this kind of botanical kind of vibe going through it all the way through with a glass window with some pretty flowers and plants and trees and all this kind of stuff. So I'll bring the camera down and we can take a closer look of it, and I'll give you some tips on how I did that and hope it inspires you for your future building. All right, see you in a bit. Ciao, ciao. So to carry on with the theme of the organic vibe that we got going on with the cafe, I wanted to add a lot more greenery, with the building, and then on top then we decided that, hey, instead of doing another living apartment, which we've got several around in the city, it seemed a bit boring, why don't we try and do something else? And then that's when we thought, okay, let's keep with the organic vibe and do a kind of botanic kind of theme above the cafe, to keep with that kind of essence and natural thematic theme of flowers and plants and make it all pretty and all this kind of thing, and I wanted to be a lot visible with that, so that's why we used the transparent cylinders, quarter cylinders, all the way through. So from the back, I think you can see the real beauty where you can look inside, and I used one of the trees that came with the Chinese New Year sets, and I thought that was really pretty, so I dismantled a little bit and put that in. But that was kind of the main kind of inspiration, to have more flowers, more plants, more trees, and to kind of accentuate that feature throughout the whole of the building. One of the challenges that we had was at the front, was especially here, because this sign, the height of it is a good 5-6 bricks high, and obviously the floor begins here. We were originally thinking of making a whole kind of cylinder, because we thought, oh, that'd be pretty cool to have that kind of whole tall cylinder view. But the problem with that, we didn't have much space to mess around with, because here you can see once you put that in, you kind of lose already that side here, and if we do it here, you're going to lose some space there, and then really you kind of lose half of it anyway because of this sign. So that's why we decided, okay, let's just go for a standard flat front. We add a little bit of texture here, through a classic technique of the round bricks with alternating with the square bricks here. Just give it something from there. I like this using different this color. I think it just pops out a little bit, and I think this blue does contrast quite nice with the pink and the orange, and this green plates. I mean, luckily I had some there. It's a shame I didn't have the green plate for the quarter circle plates at the back, but it's okay. I think we can get away with that, right? And then at the top, we put in a little bonsai tree, because we're still waiting for the other official Lego bonsai tree to come through. I haven't ordered it yet, though. I think they're finally back in stock, which took a bit of time. But originally I did put this in here, but it just didn't look right, and so we decided, well, let's keep the roof a little bit exciting, So I think the last time I mentioned that we want to try and keep some of the roofs exciting in the building. So when you are looking down, as a human, at least we got some nice views on the top. And then I wanted to have. This was really inspired by the latest police station modular when they had this, this greenery going around the corner of the building. You can see that's behind there. So I wanted to try and replicate that a little bit. I just used, if I just take one off, I just used basic modified bricks there to attach these kind of leaves. I didn't use the same technique as they used in there, with the little spanner plate and the hook, mostly because I didn't have all those little parts. So I just did what I had with the parts that I had to put that in. But I think it worked out quite nice. So try to keep a nice continuation line. Maybe I can put in a few more just to give it that kind of busy vibe to it. But I think from the back, I think it looks the nicest, right? Where you've got that kind of open feel to it, and you can see inside to it. Well, let me take this off and then we can have a closer look. So I've taken the roof off and I've just taken the windows off from here so we can have a quick look. Be easier. So as I said, this was from the Chinese New Year set that we had, and it was actually just one whole tree originally, but I broke it down and took had this part from somewhere else from my spare parts collection, and I just split it up into 3 little pieces just to give it that kind of growing vibe. Underneath I just did various different pots of plants, and you can probably see if I go around on the top side, we've got some more plants at the back there as well. You can probably see it from a different angle if I turn this around. There you can see it at the back, and the whole point was just to give it that kind of busy vibe to there. The floor, I just kept it plain white, and I did want to keep originally I wanted to have some kind of water feature in there, but just with the space that I had, I couldn't really do much. So I wanted to give the illusion that there was a busy botanic vibe going on in there, and I think we achieved that to a certain degree. And then with the roof, it's very simple. I had a bunch of these gold fence parts lying around, and some of these kind of trellis pieces in there, and I think that gives it a nice little luxurious kind of touch to it. And then I try to do my best bonsai pot on the top of the roof. A couple of studs I left bare so we can place some minifigures in there as well, to keep to create the stories that we all love to create. The hooks that I did have, I used these for this one to help with then the continuation of the plants that were coming up here as well on top, and I think that worked out quite well. One thing that and I don't know if you guys know of anything, but one of the problems that I had was if I put this back, you can see these are not really stuck together, and usually when you're building, you want to try and keep everything locked into place so it doesn't move. But for the life of me, I couldn't figure out the way to not stop that from happening. I mean, maybe I could have put a plate underneath here to stop them from moving a little bit more, but I didn't have I didn't know how to do it, because you don't have a kind of corner curved piece and a straight piece interlocking as well. So if I couldn't figure it out, but if you guys have any ideas of how to do that, please do let me know, because I don't know, once the roof goes back on, it's a bit sturdier, and it's locked into place, and maybe that's just the way it needs to be. So if you guys know a better technique, drop me a line in the comments, because I'll be really interested to know, just to improve my building technique. So that finishes up modularizing another Lego Friends set, the Organic Cafe, and I don't know, I think it turned out quite well. I'm really happy with it. And this fits in quite really nicely to where I want it to fit in, at the end of my Art Nouveau district, where you can see all the way here. And I think the theme goes quite really nicely along this street. I think it matches up quite well, so you can imagine yourself walking down this street, and this doesn't look too out of place. It has a very open front to it. It's organic, which is hip and trendy, and it's got a nice little plants and prettiness. And then what I still love at the back, which is the main point for me, was that I needed it to link in really nicely with the rest of this block that I've got going down here. And then I still have visibility of the waffle cafe here, the yoga studio, and the detective's office that I've got here. And this kind of open area is really nice then, because I put a couple of tables here, and I think now that's a great area to have some stories and put some minifigures in there. So this then forms the last part of this kind of street, corner street, shall we say, that I've got going on down to end each of the neighborhood blocks. So if we start off on this side, which is our kind of hipster, trendy kind of block neighborhood, it ends with the skate park and the graffiti, and then on the posh street or the boring street, as where my son says, we're next to the Parisian restaurant, you've got the fancy little Japanese Ninjago inspired temple there as a corner building. And then on next to the police station, we have the shrimp diner from the Hidden Side inspired set, and using the boat as a feature, and I just love that shrimp sign, right? And then finishing off in the Art Nouveau neighborhood with the organic cafe. And I think then all of that looks pretty complete from a city perspective and neighborhood perspective. So let me know what you think. I'd love to know your thoughts. If there's any suggestions of how to improve this little building, then please let me know. I'm always looking to improve upon it. I don't know, I'm not too happy that much on the front. I think there could be some more texture we can add here. Maybe I could offset the windows a bit, but then you lose space, and to be honest, I haven't got that much space to mess around with. But I could trial it, see what you think. Let me know. But I hope this really inspires you, because I think the Lego Friends sets in particular, they're fairly cheap to pick up, and I think they form a great foundation to build modulars out of them. Something different, something with brighter colors than compared to the usual colors that you get in the official buildings that you see. It gives a different pop, and adds a lot of different dynamic to the city. And this is why I probably adore this street that I've got, because of the different colors involved. It gives me that huge Eastern European vibe, and that's exactly what I wanted in the city. And I'm glad. It's a bit sad that this is the last building of the street, but I still got some space here. I might continue it with another one, because I'm still thinking whether the organic, the grocers is the right place there. I might shift that across. But anyway, hope that's been helpful. I'll catch you later for the next one. We've got a bunch more videos coming up on some of the other MOCs that I've done. But for now, take care of yourself. Peace and love. Stay blessed. Ciao, ciao.